Hi guys. Howdy.
Hello.
Hello. Hey.
So much fun. We'll wait a minute or so because I know there's a couple people more. A couple of people on the way. Can everyone hear me?
Uh-huh.
Are we all excited? We're so enthused. This is amazing. It is Tuesday.
Oh, come here.
Conquering the world. I have a massive load-in that's going on right now. So once this is over with, I have to run over to T-Mobile in Las Vegas because we have Vegas Golden Knights tonight. It's their opening game. So it's a little exciting. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. So just so you know, we're going to do a $25 gift card at the end of the session today. For you to win, the camera must be on. That's how it'll work.
Jeremy speaking.
Demir, I'm going to put...
Can I help you?
On the chat. So if there's anything...
You got to get me.
You need... Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. If I would like everyone to write down their high school prom theme, if they could, please.
That has regained control of the communities in that area, and for the scenes of heinous and horrific attacks.
I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. If everyone could go ahead and type in your theme. Stairway to Heaven. LOL, I don't remember. So it seems not everyone remembers. That's all right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a couple of fun things with Snappic. One of them is selling ideas ahead of time to the client. This is something that I have to do pretty often. And then pre-visualizing the event experience and then creating mock-ups. So we're doing everything either during the booking process or after they've booked, but before the event has actually happened. This is very annoying because this is not taking out the things that we had from previously. Anyways, so what we're going to do is selling ideas ahead of the client or ahead of time to the client. One of the most recent events that we did. We came up with the idea of doing a rain booth. This was a very large project with the Seattle Convention and Visitors Bureau, Visit Seattle, and they had an idea that they wanted to accomplish, which was to take photos of things and of people in the rain. So, you think of Sleepless in Seattle, you think of Seattle as very rainy weather, cozy weather, that sort of stuff. So this was a lot of companies to complete this whole thing. So we had the Fabricator, which is based out of Phoenix. We had a marketing company, a PR company, one other company that we it's called Copacino Fujikado. They're actually based out of Seattle. So all of us came together to sort of create this sort of rain booth. What they did was they kind of did a very rudimentary SketchUp of what this activation was going to look like. And then we ended up doing a little tour with it. So we did about 5 or 6 dates with Visit Seattle, and they built this little rain booth. So where you see where it says Visit Seattle, there's actually a water tank behind that. And the water would go up into the top of the ceiling into the platform, and then rain onto the platform. And there was actually a little hole in between where no one could get wet. So there's rain behind and rain in front. And then we did the photo activation. So we would take a still photo and then we added in rain effects after. So we had the practical rain, which is the rain that's in real life. And then we had the fake rain that was in the GIF that was created after the fact. So I'm going to show you a little video of what it looks like. If anyone has any questions or comments, you can go ahead and put it into the chat. Nice little slow motion. This was such a fun little way to make sure that Seattle got its point across. So here's a few photos of what we ended up doing. All of the setup was a tripod, and then we had a Canon camera on top of that, and then that Canon was connected to the iPhone that was running Snappic. The only thing that was a little bit difficult was getting people to hold the pose for just a few seconds while we took the photo. So we actually did a couple of things. So I'm gonna actually see if I can mute this. Actually, I don't know if I mute it for everyone, if it'll do the same thing. But for example, there was two sections. So this section actually has the physical backdrop. There was a little bit of confusion with the production company whenever they were installing it. So the install happened between midnight and 7 a.m. So they worked all night to build this effectively overnight. And then in this section, you can kind of see in the background that there's no background right there. So the background ended up coming up later. The great thing about Snappic was that we were kind of able to, roll with the punches, and we were able to make sure that we used an AI background removal. That way the background was still there, even though it physically wasn't there, and it made it a little bit later on. So actually in the final part of the video, like right here, this photo in particular was the AI background. So luckily they gave us the file, and we were able to kind of make that still happen, even though the practical background wasn't there yet. So in this particular section was like we can see, like this background, there's no background there. So we were able to use AI in this particular situation. Can you all see it playing? So no, so we actually did not do a QR code interaction in this scenario. What we did was we had to have people agree to a disclaimer. So we took their photo onto our camera, and then we had the sharing station set up off to the right. So we waited for the photo to pop up, and then they were able to scan in type in their information either by text or by email. That's kind of how that worked. If there are any questions so far for this first little setup. So we did not source the fabricator. We had someone else do it. Hi, Rosie.
That was the question. I just want to make sure you saw it. Hello.
Yeah. Hi. Yes. So the company was based out of Phoenix, and we did this in a couple of cities, and they actually had to set it up, break it down, put it on a truck, and then physically drive it. It was just like a Beyonce concert. It was kind of insane.
And is that typical when you're working with a fabricator? Is it usually
with something this big? Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
There have been a couple of other instances where we have traveling things, like the instance for today. We're doing something with the Vegas Golden Knights, and that one is going to a couple of other places. during away games. So with this particular one, we're just renting truss from other companies locally. There's kind of no need to bring that out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Anyone else? Awesome. So we're going to move on to mockups. Mockups are kind of fun. They really make, I think, make me. We're able to kind of do a couple of other things that most cannot. I'm gonna share my screen for a second. Find the particular window. So something that I use often is smart mockups. Whenever we were building this particular course, they came out with the notification that smart mockups is shutting down. So they're not shutting down for about a year. So luckily, I believe they're being absorbed by Canva. So a lot of the things that smart mockups can do, Canva is going to be able to do in a little bit. So a couple of the things that I use is the little custom feature, and we're kind of able to do different things with smart mockups. One of the big things that I use is the Aura view and the tower screen. What we do is put in the mockups here, and we're able to do videos, and then we're able to export it. And then what I do is I put everything on a website, and then on our website, on our main domain, I'm able to kind of update what those mockups will look like to the client. So that way I'm sending them a link and they can access it on their phone, not necessarily have to go through, a whole bunch of downloads or whatever on an email. So these are just some of the things that we can do. Like, for example, this is one of the overhead booths. We're able to kind of put in each of the faces and then send a mock-up to the client. So actually this one is for the Golden Knights. This one actually didn't happen. I really wish it would have. But yes, so this is how we're able to kind of do mock-ups super quick. One of the mock-ups that we were just doing was for a little disco thing. So for example, this particular one, and I'm just going to build something. Actually, I'm going to go back to the word cloud and I'm going to see what we did. So let's just we can do like a little under the sea thing for now. So what you'll do is you'll go ahead and pump in any white background or what have you into smart mockups. So hopefully you can see that now. And then what we'll do is we'll go into Canva and we'll take in these dimensions and be able to build that mockup. So this particular dimension is 772 by 633. So I'm going to hit create design. 772. And that one was 633. And then it gives me kind of what I'm doing. So if we were going to do like some sort of like under the sea mockup, ooh, that was an upload, not a photo. I think this one's kind of fun. So I can take this and I can export it. And then I'll go ahead and bring it in to the upload image. I'm gonna upload that design. And then it's gonna put in that little 3D environment for me. So typically what I'll do is I'll do a lot of these full 180 enclosures where they're still kind of open, but they still have enough of a background to kind of make a difference. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and export this. And then I'm going to pop it into Canva. I can put it right here. And then actually I'm going to I have a photo of the 360 platform. So hold on for a second. I'm going to hide this real quick so y'all don't see this. Let me go and find it real quick. This is also really, really important whenever I found that people are everyone is more of a visual learner. They cannot, you can explain something a million times, they're absolutely not going to get it. And it's a little bit frustrating whenever you're like, oh, this is what it's supposed to look like. I'm trying to find the file here and it's right here. There we go. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop in this whole photo. I'm going to export it. Let me share my screen again. Here we go. Wonderful. So now we're back where we were. So what I'm going to do is I have this photo that I took of our 360 platform just on a white background. So with the magic of Canva, I'm going to go ahead and click edit photo and I'm going to do the background remover. I'm going to bring this down. And I'm going to scale it down a little bit. And I always make sure to tell like my clients like, hey, this is not to scale whatsoever. And then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to flip it. So you can kind of see that the little 360 is protruding a little bit. And then that's what I would do for the mock-up and send it out to the client that way. So that way they have a full visual of what it is that we're trying to accomplish. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it kind of a step further. What I like to do is in this instance in particular, I don't know if anyone has ever seen the 360 with, or I'm sorry, whenever you're taking a photo and you have that photo with the girls in the glasses, or I'm sorry, they're holding up the little like props or whatever, the little standard Snappic ones. I guess something's wrong with my sound. Can y'all hear me now? Oh, okay, we're good. Wonderful, fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to redo one of the template preview images over here. So for example, Visit Seattle over here had, we were able to kind of put in that Seattle background. So we were able to preview the image with the Seattle image, because whenever we were doing the, that preview image, I wanted to be able for people to select what it was actually going to look like, not necessarily the, standard Snappic one. So what we're going to do is, and it's actually split in between still and GIFs. So I'm going to do still. And we're actually just going to do an under the sea test event. So actually, I'm just going to build it. Yes, I'll go ahead and build it right now so everyone can understand what I'm seeing. Under the sea. Today's the 10th. Just going to make it all day. My staff is going to freak out because they're going to be like, what is this event that we don't know about? Put in all the things. In everyone's password, 1111. So this is what's going to happen. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to replace this photo. So this photo right here of the two girls holding up their little props. I mean, we love them, but they don't always work for everything. So I'm actually just gonna leave the start screen alone. Take out all these things because they annoy me. Redo the template. Wonderful, fantastic. Now, the great thing about this is whatever it is that we accomplish will look a little bit more intentional. I just use the beautify filter. It's my process. Leave me alone. It's just a nasty habit I always have. I always remember whenever I was like whenever I was originally starting to sell Snappic and originally like going to clients and they're saying, you know, oh, can you do gifts whenever that was a big thing. I remember I used to say, hey, this is a beautiful, like we can do a beautify filter, but people don't know that we're beautifying them. And then they would hand me money. That's just kind of how it used to work in the olden days. Back whenever you would do a photo booth and I'd be etching it on a tablet for someone on site. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back into Snappic and I'm going to do, for that particular one, we did 1920 by 1280. And so I'm going to put in that same photo that we just did because I want that photo to be in the background. So I'm going to export or I'm going to download this. And then I'm going to go into the presets, go to template preview images. And for still and GIF, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add under the sea. Under the sea. That's me. Look at me like I'm Oprah. So whenever you're doing a preview image, it needs to be in a JPEG. So I'm going to rename the file size and I'm going to just change it to JPEG. Otherwise, it won't go through. Oh, great. It's too big. Wonderful. Go in here and resize this. Let me see if it'll do it. This is annoying. Okay, stand by. So I go download, change it into JPEG, bring it down. And actually, it's okay if we need to do it just as a small version, only because it's only visible on a phone. So it's not like we're doing something final. There we go. So we're going to save the preview pack and then go back to the event. And then I'm actually going to show you what this looks like on my camera, but let me try and switch cameras real quick.
There we go. I'm going to go on my phone, go up to Snappic. My little under the sea thing. And then actually what I'm going to do is to show you the preview image. I'm actually going to put a second one here. Let's see what this looks like. So right now we're here. And then whenever we click still, these photos are the current ones that pop up. So since we're doing it under the sea thing, I want to get rid of this. So we're going into Demir, you're going to have to help me out with this one. I forgot where it went. Let me see. That's not it. App experience. Thank you. So we're going to go into here and we're going to go into preview images. And then where we had under the sea, we're going to select it and then save those changes. And then now what I can do so just to confirm, now this is what will pop up whenever we look at the preview images. So it's a great way to get rid of those girls if those girls don't fit whatever it is you're doing. So what I like to do is I like to go in there and kind of change up those presets every now and then. And it works great. So if you're doing anything that has anything branded, you can always add to that branding a little more. For example, I always like to redo the photo booth background right here. So actually what I can do is we can make that change right now. I can go into videos and I can do under the sea here. And then, oh, this looks so pretty. So it's actually, so so this is a two-part thing. I just saw someone's question on here. So what you're doing is you have to create the preset. So you're going to go into preset and then create the template preview image and name it whatever it is the event that you're doing. And then you'll go into events, into your event, and then go into app experience and then changed it to whatever preset you just created. So actually, let me get rid of that. So then right here, what I can do is add a little under the sea effect and change this color a little bit. Then add a little animate effect. That looks a little rolly. Now, actually, so whenever you're doing, if you're using a phone for your preview image, you have to redo the sizing for it. And I really hate how they just changed the stupid sizing spot. And that's going to be 960 by 720. I hit custom size. And we're going to do 960 by 720. Hit continue. And it's going to resize it for me. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. And then now we have our little animation. I'm just going to download this. I'm actually going to shorten it just a little bit. And hit download. then while that's downloading, we're going to go over here to upload animated attract screen. And then that's where we'll upload that little section. So currently, without that, this is what it would look like. Just that little collage, standard little background. And then I'm going to go up here and do animated attract screen. You can do the same thing with a still. And then I'm going to upload that, and then it's going to give me a little animation right there. I'm going to hit save to save those changes. And then under the C's right here, and we're going to refresh it. Whenever I start again, it's going to give me that lovely little animation. So everything is custom. And if you want to take it a step further, you can customize the buttons, but I'm not going to do that today. Does anyone have any questions so far of what we just talked about? Anything? Everyone understands it. Everyone is going to start doing this tomorrow. I think the big thing for me is the presets. It took me forever to figure out how to get rid of those girls. I think you could also do the same thing with the translations. So if you have a particular theme and you want to keep that theme going on, you can change up some of the verbiage. So for example, let's say you have a 360 and it's like doing the editing thing or whatever. You could say, you know, oh, it's going to space or something like that. So the size for the screens, whenever you're using a phone or an iPad, we use 960 by 720. You can kind of make all these changes over here. Anyone else have any questions? Hi, Jason.
Hey, Ryan. So you were showing the mock-ups. I was about 9 minutes late.
Yeah.
What software do you use for the mock-ups?
So the what I use for mockups is Smart Mockups. Smart Mockups also just did a little update that they're shutting down, and I believe they're being absorbed by Canva, but that's not going to happen for another year. So all of those are done on Smart Mockups.
And for like ordering those backgrounds, do you just go to like different banner sites and get the dimensions?
Yeah, you can find whoever you order your backdrops from will give you a template and a mock-up of those. So you'll have the print file template, and then you'll also have, whenever you send them that print file template, they should send you a 3D mock-up of what it actually looks like. I like to work a little faster than that. So in this scenario, I have my particular vendor send me the white mock-ups. We take those white mock-ups and we put them into Smart Mockups. We build the grid based off of whatever it is supposed to look like, and then add in the artwork from there, and then it'll pop out the 3D mock-up for us.
Okay.
And actually, if anyone is using MobiBooth in their knowledge base and actually in their owner section, they have full mock-ups of all of their products that are blank. So you can go ahead and put in whatever screens you like for that, and then put that. What I do is I put that into Smart Mockups and then utilize that for our clients. So for example, right here, I have the mock-up for our ring lights. Anytime we want to do like a sharing screen or a start screen or anything like that, I will never send the client the actual file. I will always send them the mockup version, just so that they can kind of see what it's going to look like as much as humanly possible. Same thing for the tower booth or what have you. And all you'll do is, so I think the tower booth, I think the actual dimensions are 540 by 1920, something like that. So all we do is we use Canva to pump in these sizes, and then we send it to pump it into Smart Mockups, download both of them as a whole, and then send it out. And actually, we also do the same thing for screen wrapping. So whenever we want to screen wrap something, we do this particular mockup. I actually can make one just real quick so y'all guys can kind of see it. So what, for example, we would do a start screen. So the start screen is 1536 by 2048. And we would just do a start screen. I don't know what, I guess we can do a Halloween theme because Halloween is coming up. So I can do a little Halloween thing. Just do like a little black spider mock-up. And what we always just do is tap to start. And then bring this down. Quick little animation. That one works. Looks like a slot machine. Who doesn't love that? And then I'll work on this one. So the tower is 460 by 2007. Do kind of this one just because it's a little bit more vertical based. So this is what we would do if it was more of a print mock-up. And actually what I really like to do is if you're doing a logo, actually we just did this for Hulu. Put it towards the bottom. And fun little fact, I like this little black gradient. And what we do is spin it around and make this a little larger. Fantastic little design tip. If you ever have artwork like this and you can't really see it, you'll bring in this. And then I'm actually going to move the position back a little bit, and then you're able to see it a little bit more clear. So it'll only darken the bottom part. Fun little blind fact. That right there was worth the price of admission. So we're going to go up here and upload. Actually, we're going to upload the video because the top part's a video. And the tower is going to be a standard image. And that's how we get a nice little mock-up. So we'll download it super high. And then it'll download, and then we're able to send that to our client. Yes, so it's super easy rather than messing with Photoshop, just because you're going to be able to do things a little bit quicker. And all you do is actually, I can build it real quick, show you how I did it. I'm going to go into Mobi Booth actually. And then in the, I think I gotta log in. And then go into product perks. So we can do it for the Cruise Plus. And they should have the little mockup files. Not that one. Actually, this is where it is. So it's under the full wrap and partial wrap. Let me open this up real quick. I think the partial wrap is a little better. So, and you can do this with anything. So if you have like a mirror booth, you absolutely can pop it in there. Actually, let me show you what I'm going to do here real quick. Show you what I'm seeing. So this is the file that I got from Mobi Booth. So we're going to remove all this. Actually put it in the middle for us. And then I'm going to go ahead and export it as a PNG. And then I'm going to bring this over to Smart Mockups. I'm going to go into custom. So the program that I edited that one in is Pixelmator. It's just what I have on this computer that I'm using right now. But you can use anything. And I just popped out a little PNG. So we're going to do, I'm going to bring in that little logo. Oh, actually, I did it wrong. Actually, no, I did it right. I'm just playing. So what we're going to do is it's going to say pop up your design or your design here. So I'm going to bring it in and just go under each of the corners and set this up this way. Now that works there. And then I'm going to go into a placeholder and add another one. And this is all you're doing super, super quick. I'm just going to go in here and make sure that all my corners are where they need to be. Bring this up top, bring that up top. And then two things. So if you have a white, like if let's say like this particular Mobi booth that we're doing is a black one, if for example you have a white one, you're going to click multiply blending mode and it's going to change the background to kind of blend in a little more. And then we're going to hit save image. And then once that's saved, then you can go in here and upload those two. and then it'll fix out your little mock-up section. Fun stuff. Well, I think we're just about out of time. So if anyone has any last minute questions on anything that I talked about today, any of the mock-ups we went over, just feel free to hit the little button. Hey, Jason.
All right. So do you do the mock-ups after you receive or have earned a bid, or you do that as a part of earning your bid?
That's a great question. So depending on how bad I want it will determine when I do it. One thing that I did notice was during COVID, you kind of had to do more things to earn the business. Mockups was one of those things. What I really have found is it's just kind of like, let's just say you're going to the mall and you're going past a little yogurt shop and there's someone that's handing out free samples. You are 40% more likely to purchase from that person just because they gave you a free sample. So it's just kind of one of those little mind tricks or whatever. You already have enough invested in that person. You feel like, hey, they gave me something, so I owe them something, so they're more likely to purchase from you. So that's kind of the mentality that I feel about it. Depending on, I will say that if, like I said, people are visual learners, we can talk about all the fun things that we do, you know, photo booths can do this and that and whatever, but it means nothing until the client can actually see it. So what I like to do is go ahead, build the mock-up, do all the things, say, hey, listen, this can be changed. It's 100% changeable. You know, nothing is set in stone, but this is what it could look like. One of the things I always do is whenever a client sends us an email and says, hey, listen, you know, we want to do this event or what have you, what can you do for us? I like to say, do you have any assets that you can share with me? Please send me all of the things, and then we can create something based upon that. So that's typically the direction that I like to go with it. And being that I can go into Canva, throw up whatever image they give me, put that image into Smart Mockups, I can have something to someone in 5 minutes. So it really is kind of, you know, no sweat off my back, especially if you're kind of working that quickly. Yeah. Awesome. Hello, Allison.
Yes, hi. Well, I was a little late. I'm sorry. I
You're
have
fine.
two questions. The first one is, um, how do you find the enclosure that I saw that you were showing on the
There,
smart mockups?
sure. Any backdrop vendor will have them.
Okay, all right. And
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
drop it on the smart mockup, I guess.
Yeah. So all what you need is you need to have an all white mock-up of it. But yes, if you have an all white mock-up of anything, you can put it in the smart mockups.
Okay, perfect. And
Mhm.
then the second question is, um, what happens if a client has their own design? Uh, Do you
Even
you
better.
drop the
Even better.
file? Okay,
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Yeah, just send it to me. I can show you what it'll look like and go from there. But it just cuts down your work if the client already has their file going.
okay. So my question is, do I send the spec, the design specs, and they will drop the files, or do you drop the
Um,
files yourself?
it can go either way. So what I'll do is I'll send the client the template. If they want to complete the template on their own, send it back to me. Then we'll have it printed and do the mock-up from there. That's typically how it'll work.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Sure thing. Go ahead.
A lot of my questions were answered from the previous one. As far as I just
Sure.
want to make sure the mock-ups have to be blank. They have to be a white.
Yes. So if it's a white backdrop, you're gonna want something white. That way you can utilize that multiply blending mode. That way it looks natural and doesn't just look like stark white. So it'll blend in the whites to whatever the natural background is.
Because I have an enclosure, but currently the only photo I have of it has my logo wrapped on it.
Yeah,
And
gotta get a white one.
yeah, and the manufacturers were, I want to say I got it from Alibaba. I think that's the website. Yeah. And so you're saying I could just contact my seller and ask them for the mock-up. And then how about turnaround for the print? So how much time should one give to have that mock-up ready, or that if they say, yeah, I want to go?
That's between you and your printer. So if your printer can get you something within a week, great, fantastic. If they can do it same day, great too. If you have like a local printer or something like that.
Oh, okay. You would say keep it local versus ordering it from China.
That's entirely up to you. It depends on who your client is and how much money they have, because if you have to rush something, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything else? Would anyone like a Diet Coke with that? Hello, Neil. Hello.
Hey, okay, am I on?
Yes, caller, you're on the air.
Great. I keep breaking up and keep getting dropped. Anyway, thank you again for another awesome session. The question I have, I'm assuming just like the last ones that you've done, we'll get a link so we can see everything again, correct?
Yes, Snappic will put this on YouTube where you can listen to it for years to come.
Fabulous. And are you doing any of your offers? I know sometimes you'll offer, something special on your website, templates or email and all that kind of stuff.
I got nothing for no one today. Today is a little bit busy.
Okay.
But I will say this. But what I will say this is, if everyone wants to go to my website, it's ryansalinas.com. If you want to sign up for the newsletters, that's where I send out everything.